Oh no, it's coming. Ah, made it. Oh, crap.
All works of fiction draw inspiration from the real world in some shape or form, and as popular as werewolves are today, the real accounts were some more like this. And the most famous werewolf story was about the serial killer who butchered 18 victims, including his own offspring, known as the Werewolf of Bedburg. There are references of him in Scooby-Doo, Doctor Who, and even The Exorcist. The story was discovered by Montague Summers, a clergyman with a passion for all things occult. The werewolf's actual identity was a man called Peter Stumpp. Stumpp? Stumpf? Stoop? Yeah. Whatever. Born in 1530 Bedburg, Germany, Peter Stumpp was a wealthy farmer and a widow who had 2 children, a boy and a teenage daughter. Did I mention that he was a successful farmer despite missing a left hand? Hence the name Stumpp. How he lost that left hand was never fully explained. Given the quality of the medical practices back then, loss of limb was fairly common. Did you know that the surgeons back then were called barber surgeons?
I'm so mean I make medicine sick.
Since the same person who cuts your hair could also amputate you. Not for the same price, of course. That's pretty much what healthcare was like in medieval times. Anyways, Peter had raised his 2 children to become Protestants instead of Catholics, which was dangerous because of the Cologne Wars. Quick history lesson.
The Cologne Wars was a series of conflicts between the Catholics and Protestants. The war took place between 1583 to 1588 in the North Rhine-Westphalia. Archbishop Gebhard von Walburg tried to introduce Protestantism to the region, which was taken terribly, inciting war between the region with the Netherlands backing Gebhard. Both sides had their victories till they had reached a stalemate in 1585 when the unexpected happened. Suffice it to say, things went downhill for the Protestants after that. A city got razed, armies were destroyed, settlements were refused, and Gebhard had to give up being archbishop. Protestants were forcefully converted to Catholicism by the new archbishop, and their writings were probably destroyed by the Catholics. Now a part of the Holy Roman Empire, the Rhineland was then occupied by Catholic forces, most of them being Italian forces or the Spanish Inquisition. Because of that, anyone who was a Protestant was considered a heretic.
So Stumpp raising his 2 children to become Protestants in that area is very dangerous. During this time, people and livestock were turning up dead. As casualties piled up, the fearful villagers started to arm themselves and traveled in groups. Side note, the villagers were extremely fearful and paranoid because during this time, this area was full of witch hunts. According to eyewitnesses, the animals were killed and their remains were left to be found during the day. As for the people, they had been strangled, disemboweled, bludgeoned, torn apart, and sometimes eaten. The good people of Bedburg agreed that the only explanation is a werewolf. It's not like there's other possible causes, you know, like bandits taking advantage of a region in disorder, general crime, witch hunting, and lynching by superstitious idiots, investment in rope by Spanish forces, or just wolves. On one night, the villagers and their hounds were out patrolling when the hound suddenly sensed something, and so it began to give chase. Desperate to survive, the beast dashed through the forest behind it. The villagers pursued after the beast, and once they've cleared the forest, the beast was nowhere to be found. Instead, a human silhouette could be seen past the shrubbery. You guys do your business here too?
What? No. We were chasing the beast, and then we lost it around here. Did you see it? Hold on a minute. Your hand! The beast we chased was missing its paw too, wasn't it?
We were looking, sir.
Yeah, you're right. How can you see something that wasn't there?
No, sir. We met.
Boys, we solved the case. We found him. He's gonna go to trial. He's gonna get charged. And then he's gonna get executed. Take him away, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Peter Stumpp,
You stand here accused of being the beast that killed all those folks and livestock. How do you plead?
What beast would I be? A three-limbed one?
Yes! I had your bread last week. He gave me the shits, mate.
What bread? I'm a farmer. And how's that my fault?
I heard that you,
Perform the natural obligations.
to your own daughter?
You're lying. I didn't do that.
Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
No, that wasn't me.
You people are lying. My dad didn't do any of those things. He's just a farmer.
Peter would never hurt a soul. He's completely innocent.
He's guilty, on all accounts. Kill all of them.
This trial is not honorable.
There's no dishonorable way. Just kill him. You know, it's
Jokes aside, under threat of torture, Peter confessed to some of the most heinous crime in medieval history. The nature of his crime was so evil that sometimes you'll wonder if it was in fact made up. It sounds like a rejected submission to the SCP Foundation. Whether it be the state his victims were left in, his sexual deviancy, or how he practiced witchcraft at the age of 12 and received a transformation belt from the devil himself. And of course, the belt in question, which was the key evidence of Stumpp's lycanthropy, was never found. And so, Peter and the rest of his family was executed. Peter's execution is one of the most brutal ones in all of medieval history, especially for the crimes of witchcraft or lycanthropy, and ironically, it's the most famous part of his tale. The details of his execution, however, is not for the faint-hearted, so consider that as a warning. You might be wondering, why didn't anyone defend Peter Stumpp? Well, the case itself was filled with irregularities. The case happened during a time of war. Murders and death of livestock was all too common. The occupying Spaniards were known for their hospitality. All of the aristocracy and the archbishop showed up for Peter's execution, which was unheard of for a farmer's trial or witch hunts. Where was the belt in question? Wouldn't anyone say anything to get out of torture? Or was this just part of a larger conspiracy, perhaps to discourage anyone from converting into a Protestant? Or maybe some people in the community were just jealous of Stumpp because their daily lives went about like this. It's a lovely Monday morning, and you're walking through the village to the gong farmer's site. But what is a gong farmer?
Gong farmers or nightmen were professionals in collecting organic material in the medieval era. Gong farmers played a vital role in
Excrement. They farmed excrement. So you work as a poop farmer, and on this horrendous and stinky morning, you look across the horizon and you see Peter Stumpp, a wealthy, happy, one-handed farmer with 2 beautiful children and a mistress. So why is a person like that successful, yet you aren't? On top of that, he's a heretic, yet he's not punished. Most people at the time were fairly miserable, and in some twisted way, they might have used his punishment as a source of amusement. Or since most nobility were present at the trial, it might have been a warning message to keep them in line. During an era which was heavily reliant upon agriculture, having a wealthy Protestant farmer was a problem for the nobles. The solution? Accuse him of murder, witchcraft, and lycanthropy. Give him the worst possible punishment, then the villagers would learn to toe the line. Or maybe he was just a wealthy, serial-killing sexual deviant who killed and ate both people and livestock, including his own child. Who really knows? Thanks for watching. Now I'll leave you with some funny medieval art of animals I found on the internet.
I wonder which mouth sings. Apparently this one was a snail. The real Romeo and Juliet. All hail His Majesty King Simba. Oh! He shot him in the butt.
damn boy, he's sick.
When your guitar string breaks.